Hello everyone, this is the first video for class 11 which I am doing. We have already covered much of the syllabus in the Wasm app and the Zoom classes. Anyway, we are going to start with in economy of the Islamic state, agriculture, urbanization and commerce. In this video we are doing that. Agriculture was the principal occupation of the settled populations of the newly conquered territories. The Islamic State made no changes to this. So, when it was a pre-Islamic land, the agricultural rules, the agricultural occupation of the settled population, the Islamic State did not change this, did not try to, bring new occupations, bring new jobs to the people. Agriculture remained as the primary occupation of the people. In Iraq and Iran, land existed in fairly large units cultivated by peasants. The estate owners collected taxes on behalf of the state during the Sasanian as well as the Islamic period. So, during the Sasanian period also, land belonged to the peasants and the the estate owners. They collected these taxes from the people for the government, and during the Islamic period also this tradition continued. Big estates that were abandoned by the owners after the Islamic conquests were acquired by the state and handed over mainly to the Muslim elites of the empire, particularly the members of the caliph's family, members of the Khalifa's family, the ruler's family. The state had overall control of agricultural lands, deriving the bulk of its income from land revenues once the conquests were over. So land revenues played a very important part here. The land conquered by the Arabs that remained in the hands of the owners were subjected to a tax, which is called the kharaj, which varied from half to 1/5 of the produce. So whatever the produce is, half to 1/5 of the produce was taken by the state as tax. On the land held and cultivated by Muslims, the tax was 1/10 of the produce. So on the land that was cultivated or owned by Muslims, the tax was even less, 1/10. When non-Muslims started to convert to Islam to pay lower taxes, this reduced the economy of the state. Basically, a non-Muslim would definitely want to cover his expenses and lower his expenses, lower the rates of the tax he will be paying. So he used to convert to Islam just to lower the rates of the tax that he was to pay to the state, because Muslims would have to pay lesser tax to the state. That's why. But this also created a problem, because when you started converting into Islam to pay lower taxes, the overall income of the Islamic State that dropped, that reduced. To address the shortfall, the caliphs first discouraged conversions and later adopted a uniform policy of taxation. So at first the caliphs were like, no, you cannot convert just because you want to pay lower taxes. That can't happen. But in the future, caliphs realized that okay, conversion is good for the spread of Islam. So what they did was to invent a uniform system of taxation in which taxes were same for everyone. From the 10th century onwards, the state authorized its claim to the salaries from agricultural revenues from territories called iqtas. So agricultural units like districts or provinces, which were called iqtas, the revenue from the iqtas were a part of the revenue went to the revenue collector's pocket as their salaries. Agricultural prosperity went hand in hand with the political stability. In many areas, especially in the Nile Valley, the state supported irrigation systems, the construction of dams and canals, and the digging of wells, all of which were crucial for good harvests. Obviously, it was a desert area basically. So, canals, dams, wells, any water source basically was good for irrigation, good for agricultural production. The productivity would be high if water source was near. So the state did everything to provide water sources to agriculturalists. Though peasant activities and through peasant activities and state support, cultivable land expanded and productivity rose even in the absence of major technological changes. Now, through peasant initiatives, through peasant activities, and through state support, the state was eager to increase productivity. The productivity actually increased. It actually worked. Though there was no technical advancement or technological innovations during this period, but productivity actually increased. Okay, so I'm doing up till here. We will continue this in the next Zoom class or the next awesome post. That can be a video or a study material. You will get to know. Till then, bye.